Hi everyone, I'm Raf, co-host for Ride or Bus Season 2. It's a beautiful day, it's Friday. We come to an end for Ride or Bus Season 2, it's our episode 10. Today with us at the studio, we have 4 experienced riders waiting for me to be there. But before I bring you to the studio, I'm going to be answering 3 of your questions. Number 1, are we doing videos on tips and tricks for touring? Yes, we are working on it right now, planning and conceptualizing. Once it's all finalized, we're going to share it with you on our Facebook page. Number 2, when me and Yem going to be co-hosting together, this particular season, our working schedule sort of like clashes. So when I'm working, Yem is not. When Yem is working, I'm not. When I say working, I'm working out, and Yem working out too. So the last question, are we going to be interviewing Juvina? Yes, I spoke to Juvina over breakfast recently. She said yes, she'll be sitting down with Ride or Bus and she wants her story to be heard to. Next, Gurmit Singh. Yes, of course we want to talk to Gurmit Singh. We want to be sitting down with Gurmit Singh. He just passed his Class 2B to Class 2A, and I'm very curious to know how is it like riding from a smaller CC bike to a bigger CC bike. So ladies and gentlemen, on episode 10, Gurmit Singh is not going to be with us, but hopefully Gurmit, if you're watching this, we are very keen to be talking to you. And before we bring you to the studio, please help us like, subscribe and share this video so we can have more viewers and we can do a lot more video about adventure touring and just bike in general. Okay, so thank you everyone. Let's us go to the studio and we will be talking to Yem, Cherie, Ken and Tommy. Thank you for watching. See you at the studio. Hello everyone, thank you for staying with us. Today is our last Ride or Bus episode 10, season 2. With me today, I have who's who. We have Ken, Yem, Tommy and Cherie. All these 4 actually don't need introduction. But the reason we have them here today, because I'm going to ask them some essential topic on traveling on long distance or adventure touring. Why don't you introduce yourself, Ken?
Hi, I'm Ken. I rode from Singapore to Amsterdam on a KTM 690.
Yeah, I rode a Cherie GS. The last trip was to Vietnam.
Nice. Cherie?
Couple of years ago, pre-COVID, it was about 33 countries on a DR650.
And any other bike?
You mean right now?
Yeah.
Okay, right now I'm on a Husqvarna 701 UR and a 250 CRF.
Okay, and an NTUC trolley.
Yeah,
what about you, Tony?
I'm Tommy. Done a few rides through Shangri-La, South America. The big ride in the planning is actually Road of Bones, Russia.
Okay, for a long distance rider, adventure tourer, one question in common we have is only what bike am I supposed to ride? Tommy, what sort of bike would you ride long distance? Your preference?
For me, I think it will be definitely the BMW, the GS 1200 or 1250. Both in terms of performance and comfort. Because if you're riding long distance, you want to be comfortable, you want to have all the creature comforts, cruise control, heated grip, easy to ride. That's one of the more important things.
What about you, Cherie? Long distance ride,
yeah,
not to Johor, like to Eastern Europe.
Okay. For me, it's always been single cylinder dual sports. It just suits my style of riding, which is I don't have the strength to wrestle around 300 kgs of early metal, right?
Yeah.
And I like to take off-road detours. So the bike has to be easy to handle. And single cylinder is just got a lot more character. It's a lot of fun. There's less things to go wrong. As simple as possible. I don't need like a microwave on my handlebar. I don't need popcorn machine. So yeah.
What about you, Yen? What sort of bike?
I've been on a Boxer since I started. But there's never a perfect bike for a long distance.
Okay.
I did one trip to Everest and there was a 135 LC.
135 what?
5 LC which was in the group.
Really?
Yeah.
So no problem with the bike?
No, he made it.
Alright, from the legend himself. What about you, Ken?
Depending on the route that I'll take, the number of people on the
Okay.
trip, I'll choose the bike.
If you were to go to Central Asia again, what sort of bike would you choose?
Definitely my 690.
Okay, Yen. group size. If you're going to go to say, I don't know, maybe you want to ride to Saudi Arabia, what's the ideal group size? Would you go with like 5, 6, 20, maybe?
Actually, I prefer smaller groups.
Smaller groups,
easy
okay.
to easy.
Easy to.
But
I did guide tour, right?
I did
tour guide,
as big as 30 over.
30 over. Any problem?
Of course.
Okay, but your ideal group size?
8, 6, 8.
6, 8. Okay. What about you, Ken? Ideal group
I
size?
think one person or a pair, that would be perfect. So
One
you go
person or
further,
a pair.
somebody can jaga.
You call one a group. I mean, group size.
Group of one.
A group of one. Okay. Cherie.
Okay. Like 2.5.
Why 2.5?
Who's pregnant?
You guys just gonna take the good one and then delete the bad one. 2.5 is like, okay, Cherie, what kind of group size is good
Like
for you?
really less than 4 is ideal.
Less than 4 is ideal.
Yeah,
Easy
because
to
like
manage.
if you have 3 and then like if you quarrel with the third
Oh yeah, got next story. Tommy, what about you? For your next trip, what's your ideal group size?
I think for me, the most important thing is one has to be a chef. It's important to feed the rest of the group. One is a good mechanic,
Okay.
right, that repairs, how to know a real hands-on person. One's a good medical person,
Okay.
because I can't stand blood, you know, I can't see all that. So 3, 4.
Okay, so it depends on scenario, destination. There's no, fixed group size. But I prefer to go with a chef. Christopher, if you look.
That's the most important.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about panel. We have hard and soft. What about you, Ian? Hard or soft?
I'll go with hard.
Any reason why?
Some countries, they are dangerous places where they can't stand, all these just come
Touching
here and then, cut this
Okay.
and that. So I'll go for hard.
Hard. It's been proven, right? No problem.
Not really, but I'll go for hard.
What about you, Ken? Hard or soft?
Again, depending on the trip.
Okay, if
Yeah.
you're going to a third world undeveloped country, continent like Africa, what would you choose?
Soft panniers.
Soft panel
Yeah.
because of off-roading?
Yes.
Okay.
Because if it
It falls. Okay.
on me and
Alright.
I can crawl out of it.
Okay. Cherie, you look like a hard lady. No?
I very soft, I break very easily. So
Okay.
hard panniers, my bike is slip too. Yeah, so soft panniers because hard panniers break legs and I fall a lot.
Okay. Alright, so you go for soft
Yeah, soft always.
to avoid breaking your leg. Tommy, currently soft or hard panel are you using? You're the hard guy.
The hard guy.
Even
Hard mainly because of perception.
Okay.
Because if you have a hard box, it looks a lot more secure.
Uh-huh.
And then if you're doing a long trip, you don't want people to have some small little plastic that is flimsy that you can meddle around.
Okay.
So if it's a hard box, it's knockable and more secure in that sense.
All of us here travel long distance, some with friends, group, some travel solo. Personal safety, whether we were group or we were solo, what sort of personal safety you take, Ken? What sort of preparation do you
For
take?
all my trips, even the non-motorcycling trips, I get my mom to sew hidden pockets all around my pants.
Okay.
So I always keep all my belongings, like valuables, in certain areas before I go to any questionable areas.
So you
I
have
back
needed
up.
for your money?
Yeah, my money, even my passport, I can put it there.
At one stage in South America, you got to ride alone for 16 days, right? So what kind of personal safety you take before you
No, actually, it was with a friend.
Oh.
He volunteered to stay with me.
What
Thank
kind
you,
of
Dennis.
personal safety you guys take when riding and chasing the rest of the group?
I make sure that I don't quarrel with it. We did.
Day 1 and day 2.
But relatively, South America was quite safe. Tommy will be having a different idea of
Okay.
that. But we make sure that we stick together. Otherwise,
Yeah,
the choice of accommodation
Also
quite
quite
careful.
So
Picky on that.
So okay. Other than that,
Other than that, we just bash through
Just-
and chase for the rest of the
the rest, yeah. What about you, Cherie? Personal safety. I mean, even though with your riding partner, personally for you.
Like I used pre-COVID, I used to travel alone a lot in Thailand.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll take a month off and then I'll go there.
Okay.
I think it helps to carry a switchblade all the time and make it visible when, you know, like...
Switchblade?
Yeah, but I mean, I may not know how to use it properly.
Yeah.
But at least, like, people know it's there. I've been
Okay.
harassed before,
Okay.
you know. It helps just to show that you have a weapon,
So good. Tommy, what kind of personal safety security?
I think for me personally, have to be well rested,
Okay.
and very alert. Because when you are
Focus,
focus.
Yeah.
When you are not well rested, when you're tired, you let your guard down.
Okay.
And then something happens, you're not so, how should I say, alert, right? If you're already alert, if something is to happen, then you can react to it. For example, like South America, when you stop in the traffic light, a lot of them come and ask for money, or they do a little stunt show, or they clean your
They want money after.
clean screen or something. So it's important to be alert to see that, make sure if somebody's coming in the front, that you actually see that your mirror as well, nobody's at the back stealing your bag.
You got to look around you. Okay.
Be aware of your surrounding.
Okay.
That's the most important.
The next question I'm just going to ask Yam, because Yam is running 1250 right now. Yam, bike security. If you let's say if you go to Africa, right? How do you keep your bike safe? I mean, other than parking your bike in the hotel lobby, if there's no hotel lobby, no private garage, how do you keep your bike safe?
No special arrangement, just pray. No, when I was in Pakistan, I did park the bike like a couple of blocks away.
Okay.
And it was very safe.
Couple of blocks away and it's very safe. Oh, Pakistan,
Yeah.
Is that because it's a Muslim country?
No, I've been caught by a Muslim myself.
Okay. Any other tips that?
I want to add something.
Okay.
I think for Cherie and I, the best bike security is to park next to a more expensive one.
That's a good
Our
insight.
service looks like very shitty.
That's where you park the bike.
Okay, next, interesting, you shared with us earlier that back then, pre-COVID, you traveled alone 1 month, 2 months, right?
Before the kid, also.
Okay, can you share a little bit, how do you plan that 1 month trip? Can you share with us?
Then
Yeah,
I don't
or is that
really
randomly,
plan much.
spontaneously?
I just have 1 month and I will have no end destination. I just if I want to cross extra border like Laos, then I prepare the paperwork.
Okay, that's it, yeah?
Cambodia, then I plan the paperwork. But other than that, the best plan is just like no plan, because if no destination, you cannot get lost. Then you won't stress yourself out.
That's a good one. Ken, you're a very meticulous rider. I know that for a fact. How do you plan your trip?
I'll go through the places that I wish to go. I'll just plot it on my map,
You go to
and then I will just draw a line,
Uh-huh.
trying to match up all those points.
Uh-huh.
Then I will just figure out the route from one point to another. So it's a very slow process.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's quite detailed.
Yeah. However, after my last trip, I think that having a mixture of spontaneity is actually good.
Yeah.
So that you're not so. It doesn't feel like a tour.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a tour.
Okay, let's hear from the BMW certified tour guide. Yeah, how do you plan your trip? I mean, you organize trip, you bring groups up. Share with us the basic, the first three.
It has to be a starting point and ending point.
Okay, number one, you can basic. Number one, number two.
And then we'll just plot. Again, we plot the places that we're going.
Okay.
But definitely there's an ending point.
Okay, definitely. Tommy, how do you plan your trip? I mean,
I think for me, it's a combination of what you all just said. For me personally, some of the best experience, some of the nicest trip I've done is I have a starting point, I have an ending point. In between, that's roughly where I want to go. And wherever you go, get the info from the local people.
okay, yeah, very good.
Because
Breaking
the
ice,
local people know the area better, and they point you to the nicest
and
places.
also they can bring it to the homestay for a night.
Yes. So some of the nicest places I ever been, I never read it up or it's not on Google. It's from the local people. Hey, you should try this. You should try this route. You should try this place. That so
makes
far is
sense,
some
yeah.
of the best experience.
Ken, navigation, Google Map or proper GPS? Garmin or
Again, depending on the route.
paper map?
Because
Okay.
some countries they don't accept Google Maps.
Yeah.
So you need to have a backup.
Okay, so you bring two to cross check too, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Garmin. This guy is an expert. Drop him an email to ask about Garmin. Cherie, paper map, Google or ask local.
A mixture of Google Maps and Ask Local.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mixture of Google Map.
And also
Ask
my
Local.
attention span is really short. So
Okay.
if I'm on my way from here to there and then somehow something comes up there, then forget it.
Okay. Tommy, what about you, Tommy? Paper map, Google?
I would say 20% Google Map
Uh-huh.
and 50-60% local.
Just ask the local.
Yeah, and the other 30% just be adventurous. You see a nice road, go.
Okay.
You know, you see somewhere that looks a little bit interesting, go and explore.
Next, yeah, Gore-Tex or raincoat when it's raining?
Raincoats.
Raincoats. But your jacket is waterproof too, right? Rainproof too.
There is a raincoat layer.
Oh, so do you bring extra raincoat with it?
There is, it comes with
Oh,
a.
you come with the raincoat. What about you, Ken? Gore-Tex or raincoat?
Depends on the weather.
Why don't you just wear Gore-Tex?
Will I be going to a cold area
Uh-huh.
or will it be a tropical area?
So if you're going to cold area, which one will you bring?
Definitely a Gore-Tex jacket.
So the raincoat, you just leave it at home.
Yeah.
Okay. Tommy, Gore-Tex or raincoat?
I'm actually with Ken. It really depends on which country you go to. If it's in Asia, definitely raincoat.
Yeah.
Because here
Correct.
it doesn't rain, it pours.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you completely drenched. If you are in Europe somewhere, when it rains, usually it's a drizzle, you know, it doesn't pour, so a Gore-Tex.
So depend where. So if you said you're going to bring a raincoat, what brand? What sort of raincoat brand? That 100% waterproof.
So far, the best raincoat I've used is the cheapest one.
Yeah, I heard. And I use the one in Decathlon. What about you, Sherry? What about you, Sherry? Gore-Tex or raincoat?
Gore-Tex shoes and then raincoat. So even in cold countries, I just layer. Yeah.
We travel, like Sherry, you travel on an old motorcycle. Tommy, brand new. Ken, brand and old. Sherry, if you travel on the GR60 old bike, what sort of spare will you bring along?
The usual stuff like tire tubes, right? The tire levers. Actually, I try to keep it as simple as possible because even if I had the spares, the chances are I can't strip down my bike.
Will you get a Russian guy to do it for you?
No. This is a topic that we can visit again.
Yeah.
Anything but the Russians.
Yeah, you're riding the BMW 1250, brand new. So would you carry any spare or no?
Not
If-
much, just repair kits.
Tire repair kit.
Yeah.
Like what else? Pump.
Yep. And I make sure along the way I just mark out where the dealerships.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, you brought it. Ken, when you was riding your 690, which you sold at a high price, what sort of spare would you carry along?
I'll look at the bike's usual faults, then I'll just carry spares for that. So the 690 was a standard fuel pump, and maybe sprocket, change the sprocket and change it.
Then spare sprocket, you bring it along from Singapore.
Yeah,
Wow. On the 690.
yeah.
Man, okay.
It's very light.
Very light.
It's
Okay.
a light bike.
Tommy, you're riding the T700 now. If so,
Yeah.
if you would ride from here to say Pakistan, what sort of spare would you carry along?
I think for me, the number one thing I'll carry is a SBV tool set. So whatever is wrong with the bike, because I'm a little bit hands-on, I'll try and repair it. You know, if the tool set cannot repair it, whatever spare is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Right? Make sure the bike is fully serviced and prepared for the trip. That I think is more important.
Fully serviced, change, replace the wear and tear.
Replace the chain, replace the sprocket if you need to, you know, if you have a shaft drive, service it properly. Have it properly prepared because when you go for a trip, you're spending a lot of money and the last thing you want to do is the bike breaking down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you have
Fully
to service, change it to a new tire, if you have to, you know, do it, at least that whole trip, the chances of damage or how to say failure will be a lot less.
You know, when we do a long tour, sometimes we got to go through off-road like Pakistan, India, Central Asia. So do we, I mean, for people who are watching us here, do you think they need to go for basic training, like off-road training? Tommy, since you are a BMW instructor,
Yeah.
do you think basic training is good to have before they leave?
So it's 20% Google Map, 50% local knowledge, and the other 30% is to be adventurous.
Okay.
Okay. If you have the skill to be adventurous and you see a nice trail, go for it.
Go for it.
So you got to be prepared. You know, if you are trained and you have the confidence to do it, yes. If you see a nice trail, you know, go
So
for
it's
it.
best to have the basic base of off-road skill.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Not so much for the off-road, but more in control, because the most important thing for any rider, for example, is confidence.
Yeah.
If you have confidence in your riding skill and your handling of the bike, you are a much better rider.
Okay, Cherie, you go off-road like every single day.
No.
No, every week, every weekend. So,
Not every weekend,
so when you
but-
travel the last trip over to East Europe, right?
Yeah.
Do you go off-road often?
Yeah, actually Eastern Europe was pretty okay. It was more of Central Asia that was pretty, there was plenty of off-road. I would say that it really depends on your preference. Like, I know I'm going to want to do this crap stuff,
Yeah, okay.
right? So it is just, it's more enjoyable if I really have the skills. Whereas the barrier for intimidation is higher if you don't. That's for me.
What about you, Yep?
No, it's good to have.
You think it's good to have?
Otherwise, you just need to
Stick to
bring
the highway.
more friends.
Yeah. So it's good to have off-road skill, basic off-road skill. Okay. So do you think it's good to have? I mean, you went off-road, you went for the BMW training and all. So do you think it's good to have?
Yeah, I completely agree with Tommy. It opens up more avenues for you to explore. So if you have the confidence, you can go in rather than pedaling through everything. You can really just pick up some speed and you can go through the obstacle.
Okay. So all of you guys rode in Arctic condition before, right? So the next question is about how do you prepare to ride in a cold country? Your clothing, your bike. Let's start with Ken. What sort of preparation will you do?
To be honest, because I've never experienced that kind of cold anywhere in Asia before. So it's it was a rude awakening. It's a rude awakening. So midway I had to buy the handlebar covers.
I saw your Instagram post.
Yeah, it was extreme.
Handlebar.
The handlebar cover,
cover,
the wind. Because
So
the
it
metal,
helps,
so many
right?
layers,
Yeah.
It's just
Even with the heated grip.
even with heated grip, because your palms are warm,
Okay.
but this place is so painful.
Good to have that. I will have that.
That's 100% for me.
What about you, Yam? You've been to cold places.
But I wasn't prepared. I come from tropical
You
country.
share a bit. Same.
This one was Shangri-La -5 riding in a day.
So
it
with
was
the-
in December. So
Oh man.
poor planning.
Well, at least this guy, he's big, got a lot of fat, so he can. Okay, Cherie, what sort of preparation if you're going to riding in Arctic condition?
I mean, hindsight is 2020, right?
Okay,
so
yeah.
now I know, but like Ken, I was totally unprepared. So the best thing I had on me was NTUC bags. Because, it totally cuts windshield.
does,
yeah.
Duct tape, NTUC bags, and the kitchen gloves that you buy from the
What?
Because,
Yeah, it works. What about you, Tommy?
For me, personal experience, again, from an Asian country, when I first rode in Arctic weather, totally unprepared. If you think about it, when the weather is 1 degree, 2 degree, okay, when you're actually riding, it's actually minus 10 degree because of the wind chill factor, right? So if it's 0 degrees, it's actually minus 20 degrees. It's even
the wind
colder,
factor.
right? So one of the best protection that I had was we were riding over Atacama in South America. It was freezing cold. I think it was 1 or 2 degrees. So what I got was my cheap raincoat jacket, zip it up outside of my jacket.
Okay.
So that stops
helps,
the
yeah.
wind from going in. That actually keeps you a lot warmer.
Money. Some of us carry credit cards. Some of us, like me, carry cash. The last trip, I used mostly cash. Where do you keep your cash? Yeah, let's start with Yam. Where do you keep your cash? Can you share with me so next time I know?
Everywhere.
But do you remember where you put it? When you hide
Yes,
it?
of course, yeah.
You have like a code.
Every night I'll come on.
I mean, seriously, where do you keep it? No, you can change on your next trip. You can tell me.
I distribute it everywhere.
Distribute everywhere in your bike.
On me. Not on the bike. On the
Okay. What about you, Cherie? Where do you keep your cash?
Yeah, all over the bike, my shoes, everything. So I had like.
You know you're gonna change that now today. Yeah. So everywhere. Do you have like specific location just to keep your money? Just
The
one.
last trip, I actually made small pockets over my bike just to hide there.
Really?
Yeah, like the
So if somebody take away your bike, that's it.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm very poor planner, so there's no common sense involved. I just thought it was really cool to stuff my bike.
Okay, so Tommy, do you have Tommy, do you have any special hidden places to
I'm
keep
going to let the cat out of the box.
No, it's okay. You can change that next to
Usually I keep it in my most smelly and dirty socks inside my laundry
like
bag.
your tool bag.
Inside the laundry bag.
The last trip was in my tool bag. Because it was dirty, nobody wanted to look inside. So yours is in your laundry bag.
Laundry bag usually where all the dirty clothes are.
Okay. What about you, Ken? Your last tour, where do you hide your money? Because I was with you changing the money. You changed like $10,000, right? Or something. So where do you keep all the cash? Yeah.
Same as everyone. I split it up, but I put it on my body instead. Like shoes, little pockets here, little pockets there.
I'm looking at his pocket, got money.
So, but I carry an extra wallet with my old credit card.
Yeah, fake,
and
fake.
$10 US note or something.
Okay, share with our friend, why is it important to have a fake wallet?
Because if I come into a criminal,
Yeah.
just give him that.
Give the wallet. Yeah, the fake wallet is really good because you put like 40 US inside there. And you must convince them that it's the only wallet you go to like, hey, can I get 10 US because of the money? If you just give it willingly, they say, no, I don't want this one. I want the real wallet.
In your experience when you travel so far, have your cash is better, credit cards better? Do you use a lot of cash?
It depends. Like Iran, they
Don't
only
necessarily.
cash.
Only cash. Yeah, the last trip when I did the Americas, I used mostly cash. Yeah. I supposed to bank in the money in USA, in Canada, and then have a visa. But somehow I'm too lazy to do that. I'm just like bring the cash. So what about you, Carrie? You bring credit card too along?
It depends on the country. I will
You have a
really check
spec.
up and to see what works. Some take USD, some don't take cash.
Tommy, you travel in luxury sometimes.
Yeah, so
Most of the time.
the next trip I'm going to travel with Bitcoins.
If you have any question to Ken, Yam, their link is below. Their Facebook, their Instagram is below. Cherie, anyhow, no need to Google it. You can find them easily. And Tommy, just comment or send them a message if you have anything you need to ask to prepare for your next trip after the COVID-19. This is our last episode for Ride or Bus 2. Thank you for coming. But before we go, let's say something to our friends watching us if they want to go touring. Any encouragement?
Oh, let's go for it, man. I'll wait for the border to open first.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. We don't need your encouragement.
To the minister, please open the border.
Minister who? Which minister?
Anyone that can open the border.
Okay, Cherie, anything to say to our friend, fellow rider that want to go touring, starting small maybe? I don't know. Any encouragement for them?
Wow, don't think so much, man. Just do it before another pandemic happens.
Tommy?
I think COVID really highlight to you that if you want to actually do something, do it. Because it shows how precious time is, for us. If you want to travel, no regrets, just get it, do it. There's no point trying to decide whether to go or not, then suddenly COVID happens and you're stuck for 2 years and you can't travel.
Yeah. Alright, let's do it. Thank you everyone. Thank you for coming and sharing with us your treasure experience. We will catch you again on Ride or Bus Season 3. Thank you for watching and support. Please help us to share and spread the word. Remember to look up for Cherie if you want to buy KTM. Bye bye! Oh, BMW.